This is a great event. It's the first of an annual series in school business that we want to provide as a service to you in the business community. We would consider you part of the school business family. And a year ago, when the president hired me, we had a conversation in her office about my vision for the future of business school education here in Wichita. And I told her then what I'll tell you now, and that is the business school needs to be the servant of the business community. We need to be able to serve you in every way that we can, to invest in you and be your partners in growing your business. We're bringing new business to town. We're doing it with corporations here locally. We're working with the Chamber of Commerce and the other membership of the Chamber as they work here in the community. David Burkus is, he's an author. He is the very embodiment of a Renaissance man. He's good at many, many things, and not the least of which is unconventional thinking. He's made his career on the backs of thinking about how business happens and how productivity operationalizes itself. He's a man of many talents. And in fact, as we were visiting at the hotel before we came over here this morning, he's leaving straight from this event to go speak at a major event out in Seattle. So we hope we will get you to the airport on time. So thank you for making Newman a stop along the way. This is a guy who has studied the biggest organizations in the business and some of the biggest in the world. And it's a voice that I am very interested in Wichita hearing. If we're going to make Wichita a more diverse economic base, if we're going to make it a place that is welcoming to the best and brightest talent in the world, we ourselves need coaching on how to build a culture, a set of policies that attract and keep students that are graduating from Newman University and the other universities in the area, and that are attractive from the coasts and from different countries as well. That's why I'm interested in David coming to share his research with you. And so with that, I'm going to ask David, please come.
There's a huge amount of potential to be tapped, and we're beginning to see that as sort of a renaissance. It started in a couple of different Rust Belt cities, but I think we're seeing it in a lot of different places. And so, my goal today is to talk about the things that I've found over the last number of years studying a variety of different companies that are doing business differently and that it's attracting and retaining talent. But the reason I'm excited about sharing them is twofold. One, I believe that the future of work, the future in general, is already here. It's just not evenly dispersed, right? And that two, if we can figure out how to begin to get some of that dispersion to whatever city it is, then we solve the problem of attracting, retaining talent, because that's the beginning piece. I'm united by this quote that came to me from a serial entrepreneur. It's kind of funny, when you write a book, you think you've got the perfect closing, and then when you give a speech, you realize it's the perfect opening. The quote was this, that great leaders don't innovate the product, they innovate the factory. Now, clearly we need innovative products and services, but what's meant by this is that great leaders of great businesses and great organizations don't just focus on that. They know that that is the inevitable byproduct of focusing on the people who work in that company. Factory is a metaphor for anywhere that work gets done. And it's an appropriate metaphor because this has been true. Great leaders don't innovate the product, they innovate the factory. This has been true for over 100 years.